one of the crossbenchers was very positive but very cryptic. But I'll come to that because we don't know what that positivity was based on. Brian's got a question here, Flemington. What is it, Brian?
I'm interested in I've got his name. I'm
David
losing my
Limbrick,
mind.
Liberal Democrats. Go for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Liberal Democrat, yeah. That 95% of us are going to be double vaccinated, and it looks like the view is that we want to feel safe, and we want to be people sitting next to us in a restaurant to be vaccinated, on a bus to be vaccinated, etc. And we would like these people who aren't vaccinated not to be anywhere near us. I'm just wondering what the justification is that a very small minority imposes themselves on the majority, saying we wish to come sit next to you in a restaurant. What's the basis for that? When they could choose to be vaccinated, and then not a problem.
Okay. Go for it, David.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Look, I think that this is a really interesting question because what we're talking about is people's rights to make personal choices about medical procedures. And, like if you've had the vaccination, then you're still able to transmit it. So even if...
Yeah, but mate, you've much less risk.
You've got much less risk. That's true. But you're in this situation where this small number, as we say, very small number that are left, you've got to look at, what are the reasons that they're making these decisions. And now that this mandate effectively applies to teenagers, lots of teenagers are choosing, irrespective of their parents' wishes, to make different decisions. Let me give you an example. I've had contacts into my office from parents who've got autistic children, and these children the parents find it very difficult to communicate the benefits of vaccination and this sort of thing to them. And I've had parents contact me saying that when their child found out that they could no longer take part in activities and stuff, that they've begun self-harming. I mean, this is the type of...
But can we put them as... So that's not most of the people who don't want a vaccine.
No, but there's lots of different reasons. And I think we've got to stop this stigmatisation and dehumanisation of people who choose to not take a vaccine, because many of their concerns, whether other people in the community agree with it or not, they're very real concerns to these people, and they feel very marginalised, and they feel like outcasts in our society at the moment.
Do you think, Brian, does that answer your question, by the way?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, try and make it short and pointed, and we'll see if we get an answer.
Yeah.
No, that's you, Brian. Ask your question again. You wanted to justify, you're saying minority of the majority or what?
People, that's right, they can have every reason they want not to get vaccinated. I'm not saying they don't have that right, but I'm saying they don't have the right to impose themselves on me once having made that decision, to sit next to me in a restaurant, to sit next to me on a bus. They don't have that right.
There you go, David.
Well, my response would be, does the government have that right to impose those rules on all of the restaurants? Because, if it was up to the restaurant themselves, which it's not, then, maybe restaurants could say, well, I'm only going to have vaccinated people. Other restaurant could say, I'm not going to have vaccinated people. But the way that it's done is that there is no choice here.
If I can get to a few calls. Peter, you're in Thornbury. I think a question for David Limbrick from the Liberal Democrats. Oh, no?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, we got you. Go for it. What's your question?
My question for David is, how does he feel about the unequivocal evidence of extremist elements attending the protests? Is he comfortable with that? Why does he think these protests have appealed to extremists?
I don't know which extremists he's talking to. I've been to many of these protests.
Oh, come on, David. Come on.
Like, which ones?
You can't... if you want to say there's tons of good people there, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's no end of media reports